There comes a moment in every person's life when the world goes silent, when everything you've known begins to shift, and a small voice inside whispers, "You are meant for more." Belief is the foundation of greatness because it is the invisible force that fuels every achievement, every breakthrough, and every transformation. Before the world ever sees your success, you must first see it within yourself. The world has always belonged to those who believed in something greater than their circumstances, greater than their fears, greater than what anyone else thought was possible. Belief is not arrogance. It is not blind optimism. It is the deep conviction that what you envision can be real, even when reality hasn't caught up yet. It's standing tall in a world that doubts you and saying, "I will prove it with my actions." Every dream, every revolution, every act of courage begins with belief. It's the spark that ignites purpose and turns ordinary individuals into legends. Without belief, talent is wasted, potential remains locked away, and opportunities pass by unseen. People don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they stop believing. They surrender to the voice of doubt that says, "You're not enough. It's too late. It's impossible." But belief silences that voice. It replaces fear with faith, hesitation with action, and uncertainty with vision. When you believe, you begin to act as if the goal is already yours, and that energy transforms everything you touch. Belief does not require evidence. It creates it. Every invention, every masterpiece, every victory started as a thought that others couldn't see. The Wright brothers believed that humans could fly when the entire world laughed at the idea. Thomas Edison believed in the power of light long before a single bulb illuminated the night. Greatness always starts as an idea that seems impossible until someone believes in it enough to make it happen. Belief changes how you move, how you speak, and how you respond to failure. It turns obstacles into lessons and rejection into redirection. With belief, you don't quit when it gets hard. You adapt, you grow, you rise again. Belief is not given, it's built. It's forged through small victories, through daily discipline, through showing up even when the results are invisible. The more you act on your belief, the stronger it becomes. It's like a muscle. You train it through persistence, consistency, and resilience. There will be days when your belief wavers, when doubt creeps in and whispers that it's over. But those are the moments that define you. If you choose to keep going, even with trembling hands and uncertain steps, that's when belief transforms into power. Belief attracts what you desire because it aligns your mind with your mission. When you believe in yourself, you start to see possibilities where others see limits. You speak differently, move differently, and inspire others without even trying. People can feel it. When you believe in something with your whole heart, it creates an energy that commands respect and draws support. True belief doesn't wait for permission. It builds momentum through commitment. It says, even if I have to walk alone, I'll walk in faith. Every great story in history is proof that belief is stronger than doubt, stronger than fear, and stronger than failure. Belief turns impossible dreams into inevitable realities. It's the soil from which greatness grows, the voice that says keep going when everything else says give up. Because once you truly believe, the rest of the world eventually has no choice but to believe with you. Adversity reveals true strength because it strips away comfort, illusion, and excuses, leaving behind only what is real. When everything is easy, when the path is smooth and the rewards come quickly, you never truly know who you are. It's only when life challenges you, when you are pushed to your breaking point, that your real character emerges. Adversity exposes what lies beneath the surface. It tests your resolve, your patience, your heart. It doesn't come to destroy you, it comes to define you. Every storm you face is a mirror reflecting the depth of your spirit, showing you what you're capable of when the odds are against you. It's in the darkest moments that strength reveals itself, not in words but in resilience. Strength isn't the absence of pain. It's the decision to keep moving through it. When everything seems to be falling apart, when you've been knocked down more times than you can count, the choice to rise again is what separates the strong from the broken. Adversity doesn't care about your background, your wealth, or your status. It comes for everyone. What makes you powerful is how you respond when it arrives. Some let adversity crush them, others use it as fuel. It becomes the fire that forges greatness, the pressure that shapes diamonds, the storm that awakens warriors. Every person who has ever achieved something meaningful has faced moments of doubt, pain, and struggle. Those moments didn't weaken them, they refined them. You learn more about yourself in failure than you ever will in success. You learn patience when nothing happens overnight. You learn humility when you realize control is an illusion. You learn courage when you choose to stand firm in uncertainty. Adversity has a way of teaching lessons that comfort never could. It teaches gratitude, because after you've suffered, even the smallest blessings feel enormous. It teaches discipline, because chaos forces you to focus. It teaches empathy, because pain connects you to the humanity of others. When everything is taken from you, when the world turns its back, that's when you discover what can't be taken. Your will, your heart, your fight. Adversity strips away what's temporary and strengthens what's eternal. It shows you that true power doesn't come from things, it comes from within. The people who rise from ashes, who rebuild after loss, who smile through scars, they are living proof that adversity doesn't break you, it builds you. Every scar is a story of survival, a badge of honor that says, I made it through what was meant to destroy me. Adversity is not the enemy, it's the teacher. It reveals the truth about who you are and who you can become. It gives you perspective, teaching you to value the climb as much as the victory. Without adversity, there is no depth, no growth, no real appreciation for success. Easy roads never lead to strong souls. It's the struggle that shapes greatness. The world's tough. The moments you thought would end you are the same moments that prepared you for everything still to come. Because strength isn't built in comfort, it's revealed in chaos. And when you stand tall after the storm, not as who you were, but as who you've become, that's when you realize adversity didn't take your strength, it uncovered it. Purpose gives life its power because it transforms existence into meaning, turning mere survival into significance. Without purpose, a person drifts, alive but not truly living. Every day feels repetitive, every effort feels empty, and every dream seems distant. But when you discover your purpose, everything changes. You wake up with direction instead of doubt. You stop chasing validation and start chasing vision. Purpose gives your struggle a reason, your pain a place, and your journey a sense of destiny. It becomes the unseen force that pushes you forward when motivation fades and the world feels heavy. Purpose is what separates those who simply exist from those who truly live. It's not about what you have, it's about what you give. It's not about doing everything, it's about doing the thing that matters most. When you find your purpose, you align with something greater than yourself, a mission, a calling, a cause that fuels your spirit. You stop asking, what do I want from life? And start asking, what does life want from me? That shift in perspective changes everything. Because purpose doesn't just give you direction, it gives you power. It gives your steps weight, your words impact, and your dreams endurance. There will always be moments when the road feels uncertain and the outcome unclear. But purpose keeps you grounded when the path is foggy. It reminds you why you started when doubt tries to convince you to stop. People who live with purpose don't rely on luck or chance, they move with intention. They understand that every setback is part of the design, every delay is part of the development. Purpose gives you patience because it teaches you that everything has timing. It gives you peace because it tells you that your story has meaning even in the waiting seasons. The most powerful people in history weren't driven by money, comfort, or fame. They were driven by purpose. It gave them the courage to stand against resistance, the resilience to keep going through failure, and the vision to create something that outlived them. Purpose gives you energy that no caffeine or praise can replicate. It awakens something deep inside you that refuses to quit. Even when you're tired, you keep moving because your mission is bigger than your mood. Purpose gives your pain a job. It turns heartbreak into wisdom, loss into compassion, and struggle into strength. When you walk in purpose, every experience, good or bad, becomes part of your preparation. Purpose doesn't mean the journey will be easy, but it means it will be worth it. It will challenge you, stretch you, and sometimes break you. but it will never abandon you. Because purpose is not something you chase, it's something you become. It lives in your choices, your actions, and your persistence. It's the silent promise you make to yourself to keep moving forward, no matter how many times you fall. Purpose gives you clarity when the noise of life tries to distract you. It reminds you that you're here for a reason, that your life has value, and that your impact matters. And once you discover that reason, you stop living for approval and start living for alignment. That's the moment life stops being ordinary. Because when you live with purpose, every breath becomes power. You said, change begins with courage. Expend this keynote above 500 words without subheadings and without conclusion. ChatGPT said, change begins with courage, because every transformation, every breakthrough, and every new chapter in life starts with a single brave decision. Courage is the spark that ignites growth, the force that pushes you beyond fear, and the foundation upon which all progress stands. Nothing changes until someone dares to face what others avoid. The moment you choose to confront the unknown instead of running from it, your life begins to shift. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, telling you to take one more step, make one more move, or believe in yourself one more time even when the odds are against you. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the mastery of it. It's feeling the fear, acknowledging the risk, and moving forward anyway. Most people wait for fear to disappear before they act, not realizing that courage only exists in its presence. If there is no fear, there can be no courage. Growth demands discomfort, and courage is what carries you through it. It's what allows you to leave behind the familiar, to break old patterns, and to face challenges that test every part of who you are. Without courage, change remains a dream trapped in a cage of hesitation. With it, that dream becomes reality. Every revolution, every invention, every personal transformation has been born out of courage. It takes courage to stand up for what's right when it's unpopular. It takes courage to walk away from what no longer serves you, even when it's all you've known. It takes courage to fail publicly and still rise again. The people who change the world are not those without fear. They are those who act in spite of it. Courage is the bridge between intention and action, between who you are and who you are meant to be. It transforms ordinary individuals into leaders, visionaries, and trailblazers. Courage begins with honesty. It's being truthful with yourself about where you are, what you want, and what you've been avoiding. It's easy to lie to yourself, to pretend that everything is fine, to stay comfortable in situations that slowly suffocate your potential. But courage calls you out. It challenges you to admit that you want more, that you deserve more, that you were built for more. It's the inner voice that says, you can do this even when every other voice says you can't. And once you listen to that voice, once you take that first bold step, life starts to open up in ways you never imagined. Courage doesn't guarantee success, but it guarantees growth. Every act of courage, no matter how small, builds strength. It teaches you to trust yourself, to rely on your resilience, and to realize that you're far more capable than you once believed. You might stumble, you might fall, but every time you stand back up, you become stronger than before. Courage is contagious. It inspires others to rise, to speak, to act. The moment you choose courage, you give permission to others to do the same. That's how change spreads, from one heart to another, from one brave action to the next. True change begins the instant you stop waiting for the perfect moment and start creating it. It's born when you take a step forward while your hands still tremble. When you speak truth with a shaking voice, when you walk through fear with faith in your heart. Because courage isn't about being fearless, it's about being free. And once you find the courage to change, you realize the most powerful truth of all: the life you've always wanted has been waiting on the other side of fear, waiting for you to be brave enough to claim it. Legacy is greater than life because it is the part of you that time cannot erase. It is the echo of your existence that continues long after your final breath, the mark you leave on hearts, minds, and generations yet to come. Life is temporary, fleeting, and fragile, but legacy endures. It's the bridge between who you were and what the world becomes because of you. Many people spend their lives chasing possessions, status, and comfort, but those things fade. What remains is the impact you made, the lives you touched, the values you lived by, and the difference you created in the world. Legacy is not built in a moment. It's built in every choice, every action, and every word. A legacy doesn't require fame or fortune. It begins with intention, the decision to live in a way that matters. Every act of kindness, every moment of courage, every time you lift someone when they're down, you are shaping your legacy. The beauty of legacy is that you don't have to be perfect to leave one. You only have to be purposeful. The lessons you teach through how you live, how you love, and how you persevere become part of the story that outlives you. You can't take anything with you when you go, but you can leave behind inspiration, hope, and strength for those who come after you. Legacy is greater than life because it transcends the limits of time. You may never meet the people who will benefit from your actions today, but your influence can ripple through generations. The teachers who inspire one student, the parent who sacrifices for their child, the leader who stands for truth in difficult times, they all leave something eternal behind. It's not always grand gestures that define a legacy. Sometimes it's the quiet consistency of integrity, compassion, and resilience that speaks loudest. Legacy is not written in history books alone. It's written in the human spirit. The pursuit of legacy gives life meaning beyond personal gain. When you live with legacy in mind, you stop asking, "What can I get?" and start asking, "What can I give?" You begin to measure your success not by accumulation, but by contribution. You realize that the greatest use of your life is to spend it on something that outlasts it. Legacy-driven living is about purpose, not applause. It's about building something so meaningful that even when you're gone, your presence is still felt through the lives you've impacted. Every great name in history was once an ordinary person who decided to live intentionally. They understood that what they built within themselves, values, courage, conviction, would matter more than what they built around themselves. Your legacy begins not when you die, but when you decide to live differently today. The choices you make now, how you treat people, how you handle failure, how you stand by your principles, are writing the story that others will tell about you tomorrow. Legacy is the immortality of the soul expressed through action. It's proof that while life ends, influence doesn't. The goal isn't to live forever, but to create something that does. You may never know whose life you change, whose hope you restore, or whose strength you ignite simply by staying true to who you are. And when you finally reach the end of your journey, what will matter most is not how long you lived, but how deeply you loved, how boldly you stood, and how greatly you gave. Because when all is said and done, legacy will always be greater than life.